Before we begin, if you like what you hear on the Tan and J-Man Show, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, and go ahead and click subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We encourage you to interact with us and keep up to date with the Tan and J-Man Show on social media by liking our Facebook page and following us on Twitter and Instagram at Tan and J-Man Show. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of the Tan and J-Man Show with your hosts Tanner Lee and Josh the J-Man Munt. Welcome back to another episode of the Tan and J-Man Show, episode 195 to be exact. Lights are flickering a little bit.
Yeah, they are.
Dog is down with us in the studio, getting some pretty bad, severe thunderstorms. So if you hear some dog toys squeaking, maybe an occasional bark, that is why.
Hopefully we keep power this whole time, and we'll get at it with some hard-hitting sports talk.
But glad you are all with us this week. A bunch to talk about tonight. It's going to be an interesting show, to say the least. And the Tan and J-Man Show, like it is every week, is sponsored by The Dam Landing. Good news, folks. The dam is back starting tomorrow. Then this was posted on their Facebook page. Hello again, friends. We have some great news after working with our local health department following CDC guidelines, screening and testing employees and sanitation. The dam will be reopening tomorrow, Tuesday, August 11th. We will continue to protect our employees and customers by using the safety protocols laid out for us, including frequent hand washing, required mask wearing by all staff and customers while walking in and around inside the building, and frequent sanitizing. We ask everyone to continue to stay vigilant, work together, and be patient with one another. We are so thankful for you, our loyal community, and all of your support and concern. Our staff member who received the positive test has safely recovered, and all staff members have officially tested negative for COVID. We want to continue to serve you, so please be patient with us. We ask that you please wear your mask upon entering the building. You may remove them once you get to your table. If you do not want to wear your mask, we have a large designed area outside on our lakefront patio. This has been a truly difficult time. At the end of the day, we just want to be able to serve our customers and community. We miss you. We cannot wait to see you again. Cheers, friends. We're back. The Dam fam.
The dam is back.
Great news.
That's great news. We have so few good restaurants in this town. I'd venture to say we have less than two. And the dam is that one. So, glad it's back.
Yes. Well said, J-Man.
Do you want to hear some Birdie Bogey?
Absolutely.
You nervous about it?
I'm not. Should I be?
Yeah, I don't know. It is a golf-related question, so at least I'll give you a little bit of a shot here.
Okay.
There are 4 guys who have more than 40 majors where they have finished under par.
4 guys, 40 majors where they finished under par. Okay.
Since 1934. Who are those 4?
Ooh. All right.
All 4 of them are pretty dang good.
Well, I figured with kind of the context of the question, so.
Birdie Bogey is brought to you by the Noble Gnome LLC for fresh, locally grown, nutrient-dense produce from Bryce and Katie Romine of Mentone, Indiana. Like them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, and check out their website, noblegnomellc.com. They will not be having sweet corn until August 17th, but this past weekend, and I'm not sure if they will this upcoming weekend, they will have Back to Eden's elderberry syrup. Stop by and pick some up. Elderberry is so good for your immune system. They are high in antioxidants, high in vitamin C, rich in anthocyanins, and it's an anti-inflammatory. So get your syrup. Switch it up on you.
Switch it up. I just can't stop looking at the flickering lights.
The lights are a-flickering, so let's hope we can get through this show without any shenanigans.
The shenanigans, we're always about shenanigans on Mondays.
Without any unforeseen shenanigans.
Or disruptions.
Or disruptions.
Yes. So. All right, you ready for some On This Day?
I am ready.
Sports events that have happened on August 10th. On this day in 1934,
yep,
Babe Herman Ruth announced that...
It's actually George Herman Ruth.
George Herman Ruth.
Isn't that his name, actual name?
Is it? Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, I think you're right. Because on the Sandlot, that guy goes, George?
George.
Yeah, okay.
George.
On this day in 1934, he announced that upcoming season was going to be his final season as a full-time player.
Babe, and maybe this is why, well, he was born in Pigtown, Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh,
Then there was a movie called Babe about a pig.
I knew that. Seen it.
Seems like that came after.
Used to own it on VHS. I think we're back.
Are we still on?
I don't know.
It looks frozen.
I'm not connected to the internet.
We're off.
We're off.
Crap.
Your internet down too. It's okay, Elway. Well, the whole power went off.
Yeah.
That connects the router off.
Yeah, but
So that router's got reset.
coming back on.
This is off. Well, actually, I could click go live.
Yeah, but if the internet's down, well, it's connected into Ethernet.
And that would probably fire up down there. I just don't know if we'd be able to see if we're on or not. He's mad. Is that scary, El? And should I fire back up?
Internet's back.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Roll it. We are back live. I think that's live. I can't tell if it's actually live. But the power went out. That was the live interruption that we had here. The dog is not enjoying himself too much, but we'll hopefully not have any more interruptions. So let's talk some sports.
Yeah, I think we are back.
I think we're back.
I think
we
we're back.
we actually don't know.
Yeah, that was crazy. The whole thing.
You know, we've been on the ISC Sportsnet. We've been doing the show for 4 years, and this is the first time that's actually happened.
I'm still in the middle of on this day.
You are still in the middle of it. The dog is barking a little
Well,
bit.
can't you hear the wind outside?
I can hear it, but I don't think the people can.
No,
I don't
I'm
think
just
it can
telling
pick it
you-
up in the mic.
I'm telling you.
Let's
why he's
hear
barking.
the on this day. We were talking about Babe the pig.
Yeah.
I think,
I said I owned that on the VHS.
and then nothing.
The dog is underneath the table.
Keep it rolling. You know, I might have to join him here shortly. I'm a little scared.
All right, on this day in 1975.
Man, you took quite a leap there.
Yeah, I
34
did.
to
I did.
75.
Who won the PGA Championship at Firestone Country Club?
75?
Yep.
Yeah, it's got to be old Jack,
Yeah,
doesn't
you
it?
probably looked at my screen.
I did
but yes,
not.
it is Jack Nicklaus.
It's a pretty good guess. when
as
it
he won
comes
his
to-
fourth PGA crown by 2 shots from Australian Bruce Crampon, geez. And there's a good chance we're going to lose power again.
We're probably going to
so
lose power again.
We're trying to hang in there. Who won the PGA Championship on this day in 1980?
It's got to be old Gary Player.
How about Jack again?
Probably would have been a better guess.
He won his 5th and final PGA Championship by convincing 7 strokes from over Andy Bean.
Never heard of Andy Bean.
I hadn't either. On this day in 1981, Pete Rose got his 3,631st career hit, breaking Stan Musial's NL hit record.
He was pretty good, little hitter.
On this day in 1983, Carl Lewis, it was in the first World Championships in athletics, it says. I don't know, that's weird. He won the gold medal in the men's long jump.
He was a long jumper, huh?
He was an Olympic sprinter
I was
and
going to
long
say,
jumper.
I only remember him as a sprinter.
Both.
Didn't know he did both.
On this day in 1984, the U.S. beat Spain 96-65 to win the men's basketball gold medal at the L.A. Olympics.
It's always fun to beat the Spaniards.
Future Dream Team members Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, and Chris Mullin were featured.
I knew Isaiah wouldn't be.
Good one. On this day in 1985, Oakland A's Dave Kingman became the 21st player to hit 400 home runs.
Dave Kingman hit a lot of home runs. Former Cub. He was a large fella, too. I think he has the longest home run hit in Wrigley Field history. I think he hit one 505 or something like that.
And Tanya Shriver says, we are back on Facebook. So thank you for the confirmation.
I
Appreciate it. Let's see. What else do we have here? On this day, 1997, the Atlanta Braves signed Greg Maddux.
1997?
Yeah.
So they must have re-signed him because I think he went there in 93.
This site is wrong. It says for a record 5-year, $575 million deal. That is wrong.
Can't be right.
I think it was like a 5-year, $28 million deal, I believe.
That was a lot of money
Yeah.
for baseball contracts. I remember my grandparents were huge Cubs fans, but they kind of became Braves fans after the Cubs let them walk because they were so mad. They're in, I think, 93-ish is when they let him walk.
I thought they let him. Wouldn't it be? Well, yeah, it would have been after 93 because 94 is strike, right?
Yeah.
And then 95, he signed with the Braves.
He signed in 95?
Isn't that what I just said?
I have no idea.
No, I said
thought you
97.
They must have re-signed him.
So, okay.
Unless they traded for him. I don't really remember what happened with the Cubs. I know he signed back with the Cubs in 2004, but...
Yeah, I don't know either. I should have done more research on that, I guess. I just knew the figure was way off of the $575 million deal. On this day in 2008, PGA Championship was held again at Oakland Hills Country Club. Who won that one?
2008?
Yes.
Tiger Woods.
Padraig Harrington.
I was going to guess Padraig Harrington.
Sure you were.
I 100% was.
It was a second straight major by 2 shots over Sergio Garcia and Ben Curtis. On this day in 2008, American superstar swimmer Michael Phelps won the 400-meter individual medley at the Beijing Olympics in world record 4 minutes, 3.84 seconds.
He's like a fish.
On this day in 2014, who won the PGA Championship at Valhalla? I was at the third round of this one.
Is that the one where your dad slid down the
Yes,
hill?
he slid, took the big fall, got mud all over his white shirt.
2014. It's a major, so it wasn't Ricky.
Ricky was in contention. I mean, he had the lead on the 11th hole.
Give me my boy Rory.
It was Rory. It was his last major win. 2014, his fourth and last one. He beat Phil Mickelson by 1 stroke.
Our show started in 16, so maybe I am the curse.
That's why that's my favorite major ever. Rory, Phil, and Ricky are all in contention battling now.
3 of your faves,
Yep,
huh?
my 3 favorites. And that's going to do it for the On This Day segment this week, which we were madly interrupted, but we got through it.
Rudely. Very rude.
But a company that's not rude, a company that won't disrupt you, Proforma Print House. If you're looking for a trustworthy, dependable resource for your next trade show, company picnic, or sales meeting, Proforma Print House has over 50 years combined experience in promotional products and commercial print. They strive for fast and efficient response to all your print needs. You need to look no further. Let them be your one-source print and promotional company. Call them today at 574-210-3815.
Yes, sir. Got one of those things.
Got a model of the First Federal Savings Bank water bottle. Very quality water bottle here. All of our employees got one of these not too long ago. They seem to love them from the feedback. I've never got an item from Proforma that I haven't been pleased with. So do yourself a favor. Give them a call, 574-210-3815. Trust me, they'll give you a good deal, and you'll be really happy with the promotional product you get.
You want to start with some college football talk?
Sure.
All right, let's hear your thoughts there, Tito.
Well, explain to our viewers what's going on there, man, and our listeners, if they don't already know.
So,
because this is changing by the minute. This could change by the time we end the show.
What day was it last week that the Big Ten came out with?
Schedule came out Wednesday.
Came out Wednesday. Within the past 24 to 48
hours. It was a 10-game schedule last week, starting on
Saturday,
September
5th. And then 24 to 48 hours ago, all these reports were coming out that the Big Ten was in favor of completely postponing the football season this year. The ACC hasn't said anything yet. The SEC hasn't said anything yet.
Yes, they have.
They have said something?
Their commissioner said if he's learned anything through this whole process, it's to take your time with the decisions.
Yes.
The SEC's doesn't start till September 26th. The ACC's September 9th. No, the ACC's September 12th. The Pac-12 is supposed to be in Big 12, I believe.
I think
September 19th.
Oh, really?
I thought. But the Pac-12 is supposedly right there with the Big 10 in this making decision here.
I guess the ACC did also
Pac-12,
say
not 10.
they're going to do anything in their power to have a season in the fall. But Dan Patrick said today that the vote that has been has since been rebunked, which I don't even know who to believe in any situation anymore, anywhere. But he said that Big Ten presidents voted 12 to 2 in favor of canceling or pushing the season back to spring. Now, Kirk Herbstreit came out and said that's not true. They haven't canceled anything yet, but they are in favor of pushing it back a little bit.
Now, did the spring – I didn't even see that. The spring definitely got brought up today. I thought there was 12 to 2 just pushing not having football.
Just not having football, period.
Maybe you're right. It did say postponing, not canceling, so you're probably correct.
I did see the Big Ten commissioner, what's his name, Kevin Warren? Something.
I think so. Something Warren.
He is in favor of a spring season, but that would screw up a lot of other. Logistically, it's going to be a nightmare anyway.
Well, let's talk this through a little bit. If they move it to the spring, then the difficulties you're going to face are the players that want to opt out for the draft.
Yes, and in the NFL collective bargaining agreement, the NFL has it in there where the draft cannot take place after June 2nd and would need the Players Association okay to push it back. Now, I'm sure they'd be okay with pushing it back, but that's also another thing you have to worry about.
Yes, and then you got to worry about the quick turnaround due to the shortened off season between spring and the regular fall season of 2021.
Yes, and I mean you have to worry about, do you want players playing football in the middle of February? Because that's likely.
They'd start in March.
You think they'd start in March and compete with the NCAA tournament?
Yep.
Assuming we have an NCAA tournament.
I think they'd compete with the NCAA tournament even if they started in February.
I guess they would, wouldn't they? I guess it wouldn't matter.
I mean, maybe they just skip. You can't skip those weekends. Maybe the NCAA tournament changes their format and plays all their games on the weekdays and not the weekend.
The football is played on like Wednesday.
You know, Maction.
Do love some good Maction.
But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, this whole thing's fluid. I mean, at the start of the day, it looked like the Big Ten was canceled and done. Yeah. Now, maybe not so much. Maybe there is some hope. So you're telling me that there's a chance, as in Lloyd Christmas told Mary Swanson.
Samsonite. I will say, and you brought this up, why not wait? Push it back to the 26th.
Yeah.
It gives you 3 more weeks.
Why are we in a hurry?
Yeah. Why? And this has been my issue with sports really since the COVID-19 pandemic started. Why are you canceling stuff so quickly? Just wait it out a few weeks and see what happens, because stuff can change easily.
It can, and more times than not, this virus has changed for the worse, but who says it can't change for the better?
Right.
I just think the Big Ten's kind of given up too early. And it was kind of weird trying to make the season happen so early before the others, but also if they could pull it off safely, smart from a marketing standpoint, because you get all college football fans' eyeballs on the Big Ten for at least 1 week.
And they need to put the marketing stuff aside.
Absolutely.
And just worry about focusing on having a season. And
they need to put the national championship aside, bowl games aside.
No bowl games.
Try to get your season in.
Don't even worry about a Big Ten championship game at this point. Just try to play as many games as possible. If you play 4 games and you have to shut the thing down anyway,
your best try.
You got 4 games in.
Gave your best. You're already having teams out there practicing, even though they're not with pads, so it's not like real football, just helmets and shorts.
Yes.
But I know Purdue practiced this morning. Some teams didn't. Iowa canceled today practice.
Which is interesting because Iowa and Nebraska were the 2 teams that voted yes to have a season.
Some others were told to take it softly or lightly practice. Yes. But I do know Purdue practiced today. They practiced Friday. They practiced, was it Saturday and yesterday? I don't know. But
another thing with it being so close or playing – and playing a football season in the spring is what I was talking about. You're going to see you'll have enough numbers to play a season, but you'll see all your really good players sit out. There is no upside to playing a season right before the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to get injured. I mean, we're seeing players opt out anyway. Rondale Moore, which I'm sure you're going to talk about, opted out. So I just don't know. I mean, I want football season to happen. I just don't know if it can happen.
Yeah, well, I just think they need to take their time a little bit and just not rush this decision, because they're kind of making the Big Ten's kind of making themselves look a little foolish.
And I do empathize with Big Ten's commissioner. He's brand new.
He's in a tough spot.
He's been on the job 8 months?
Yeah.
Now,
but what's changed so much between Wednesday when they released that schedule?
Nothing.
In his comments on Thursday, his son plays at Mississippi State. He said, "I'm perfectly fine with my son playing."
I don't think anything's changed. That's what I was saying before the show. This has happened so quick.
The pushback's coming from the president for some reason.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
And here's a few points I want to make. So if you're going to bring up the safety and health concerns, these kids are supposedly going to be testing. Maybe the schools aren't going through with their testing like they're supposed to. That's another issue. But say they go through with the testing like you're supposed to, test them 2, if not 3 times a week, and while they're on campus and everything, and you still say you can't play football, it's not safe. So it's not safe for these kids to play football, but yet it's safe for you to bring 40,000+ students back to campus in person.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. You can't say you can have one and not the other to me.
I'm with you.
It's both or none.
I don't even have a rebuttal to that, and you know how much I like arguing with you.
And here's the thing I think would take care of the whole problem. I think it goes back to liability standpoint. Mm-hmm. These presidents don't want to get sued, don't want a player to get COVID and get real sick, have some long-term effects, and come back on the university. Well, you made me play. Make them sign a liability statement that they won't sue the university if something happens. They know the risks. Just like if you're going to get a surgery, you usually sign stuff, you know the risks. So these players don't have to play if they don't want to. We've seen guys opt out, whether it's Rondell Moore, the kid from Penn State, the linebacker, Bateman, the wide receiver from Minnesota. Those guys opted out for the NFL. But some others at Michigan State opting out and are going to redshirt and play next year because they don't feel comfortable. There's nothing wrong with players doing that.
Yes, I do have a thing here from Pro Football Talk.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Florio.
I'm not a big fan of Mike Florio. However, the Big Ten announced the conference-only schedule last week. Only a few days later came word the conference is moving toward a cancellation of football for 2020. So what changed? ESPN reports that doctors have diagnosed at least 5 Big Ten athletes, as well as athletes in other conferences, with a rare heart condition that could have a link to COVID-19. Myocarditis, inflammation of the heart muscle, is usually caused by a viral infection. Left undiagnosed and untreated, it can cause heart damage and cardiac arrest. The COVID-19 virus has a link with myocarditis at a higher frequency than other viruses based on limited studies and anecdotal evidence since the start of the pandemic, according to ESPN. The condition has prompted increased concern among Power 5 conference administrators about the viability of college sports this fall. Debbie Rucker, the mother of Indiana offensive lineman Brady Feeney, had a Facebook post last week about her son's potential heart problems after COVID-19.
Yes, and that's nothing to be messed around with. I understand that's why if these players really want to play, they understand the potential consequences. Don't hold anything against school. I mean, there is potential, but yeah.
Don't they sign liability waivers anyway?
I have no idea.
You're a manager.
I didn't have to sign anything.
You should have. You got hit in the stomach once, didn't you? What
I got punched in the chest. And I got my toe smashed.
By
and
Kawan Short.
A bunch of things. But I just was supposed to not talk about what happened during practice. So.
What did happen during practice?
But just a lot of stuff. I mean, I want football. But if they really don't think they can do it safely, then okay. But I just feel like they need to the Big Ten. I'm not talking about everybody else, but the Big Ten needs to just step back and look at this a little more before making a rash decision. Because we saw the players, #we want to play.
Sure.
Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, 2 guys that don't need to take another snap in college football, want to play very bad.
They're also 18 to 22-year-old kids.
Yes.
You remember how stupid we were at 18 to 22?
I'm still stupid. I'm 28.
Exactly. I'm right there with you. I don't know if they should be the people making the ultimate decision.
Yeah. But they also need a voice at the table from now on.
They should have a voice, but they likely won't ever get one. That's the way the NCAA rolls.
I think that's also a little bit. I think all these people are scared. College sports, amateur sports might change forever due to this.
They need. I mean, we've been hearing the unionizing talks forever, but I'm with you. I think each team in each conference needs a representative to go to NCAA meetings or whatever. So
yeah, every
instead of
conference
just
somehow. Vote for a couple people or spokesman.
Yes, the players do need more of a say.
And another thing about pushing it to spring, there's no telling that the virus is better by then.
Sure.
But I would rather see them push it to spring than just absolutely cancel everything.
Yes.
At least give it a try in the spring if you have to. It's not ideal.
I'm not a doctor.
I just think not playing the whole season, no matter what, could have some really long-term effects.
Like what?
Well, then they got to make decisions. What do we do with the eligibility of the players? Do they just lose a year? Can they come back and play next year?
They've already figured that out for the spring sports from this past year.
Yeah.
Though. So why couldn't they do the same thing for the fall athletes?
Yeah. Also, the mid-year enrollees from high school.
Yeah. And, I mean...
So if a kid comes into Purdue, graduates in December and wants to enroll right away, can they play in the spring, or do they have to wait till fall 2021?
That's the thing.
I don't know.
You have to figure stuff out. And that's another reason why I think they should do anything in their power to play in the fall.
Do you think we can have college basketball if we don't have college football?
I hope to God so.
I hope so. But I don't think so.
Sanity. And that's why, I mean, they have until next Monday, the players that opted out of the NBA draft can opt back in by August 17th. I think seeing what's happening in college football, I think we'll see players that took their names out will jump back in, which scares me for my own teams, but can't do anything about it. Can't control it.
And it could be
it sucks.
Depressing long few months we have no college sports.
Yes. Wear a mask, people.
And college sports needs better leadership. It's embarrassing.
Oh, the NCAA, Mark Emmert's been absolute joke
they had
for
6 months.
years.
6 months to get ready for this and didn't do anything.
It's incredible that idiot's
At least the NFL's. I used to rip Goodell all the time. They're trying their hardest right now.
Yes.
They should probably do a bubble system. It's probably a little late for that, but they're trying.
It will be easier for NFL teams to bubble their own players than
Absolutely.
it is
And you're not going to have all these kids on campus.
Yes.
And another thing about these college programs, you have to trust your players to make the right judgments and decisions, at least for a few months, while they're away from your facilities.
Not happening.
But I think, like the players have said, they feel more safe at the facilities than anywhere else.
Yeah. I know it.
You don't have a season, you're darn right. Some of them probably get cases that maybe wouldn't have.
You're darn tootin'.
But back to Rondell Moore. I want to speak on him a little bit before I forget. Now, the sting of losing Rondell Moore, I will admit, would sting less if there was absolutely no season. But I still want a season. I still want other guys to play. Not only, of course, I'm not getting Rondell Moore, but I don't want to lose a season of eligibility for David Bell or George Karlaftis. Those are other two talents that Purdue doesn't get very often. Guys I like to watch play. I mean, that's what I'm upset. I don't fault Rondell Moore at all. Go pursue your dreams. Go get your money. I mean, he's not a guaranteed first-round pick, but most likely, especially when he smashes the combine with his 40 and his bench reps.
Kill the combine.
I don't think anybody will bench more than him for a wide receiver. I could be wrong,
really?
But as far as rep-wise, I could be wrong. But, I mean, he gets all this time to train now just for that. Yeah. But I'm just disappointed. I only got to watch him in 16 and a half games. He was so fun to watch as a freshman. The Big Ten's first ever unanimous All-American as a freshman selection. His freshman of the year. I mean, he broke some records in his first half of his college football career against Northwestern. It was amazing that night. Catching a touchdown from Elijah Sindelar and taking that end around. It was just one move, juke. Northwestern guy whiffs. He beats them all down the sidelines. Like, okay, this kid's for real because he was a big-time recruit, Army All-American recruit that originally committed to Texas, decommitted, and went to Purdue. And everybody's like, you chose Purdue over Alabama, Florida State, Texas? Like, what is wrong with you? But he liked Jeff Brom's offense, and it fit him well. And then last year only got to see him for 3.5 games because he still not completely sure what he did, but did something to his hamstring in that Minnesota game. And now he made this decision. So only got to see 16 and a half games out of him in a Purdue uniform. So that's disappointing, but I can't fault him at all. And Purdue's pretty deep at wide receiver. I mean, you're never going to replace a Rondell Moore, but they are at least deep in depth at that position. I just want a football season. I'm just keep going back to that. But Hashtag we want to play. We want to watch.
I was going to say hashtag we want to watch. I definitely don't want to play.
No. We do have a pump, pass, and kick competition we need to get through sometime.
Let's go out there right now in the middle of this thunderstorm.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Tanner's flaking out on me like he always does.
Props to you there. But any more thoughts on this crazy, ever-changing college football situation? Come next week, we're going to know a lot more.
Yes, and I am dreading it, to be honest. I'm dreading the next few days.
I've actually kept my cool a lot more tonight than I thought I would.
You weren't keeping your cool before the show.
There's nothing we can do about it. I know, but I've already come to grips with not being able to see Rondell Moore. I've already come to grips of not being able to go to at least 3 Purdue football games live for the first time since 1999 when I was 7.
Michael G. Scott said it best. I'm just gonna have to put on a brave face.
Yep, that's all we can do right now, and wear a mask.
And wear a dang mask, people. Maybe we will have.
Speaking of wearing masks.
Basketball.
There's an MLB team that most likely didn't wear masks a week or two ago.
Oh,
2 weeks ago, probably.
I'll talk about them. Those stupid, idiot, no-good St. Louis Cardinals.
Tell us how you really feel.
Had another player test positive, so they had the weekend series against the Chicago Cubs canceled.
I think we predicted that last Monday.
Yeah, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. They were completely cleared to play that game Thursday, and then another player tested positive on Friday. They also had their series this week against the Pirates canceled, and their doubleheader against the Tigers canceled on Thursday. So that will come to a whopping 17 games they have had canceled. At this point, you're talking them playing like 57 games in 45 days.
Yeah, it's not happening.
That's not even safe, for one, if you want them to get to 60. And it's no fair to their opponents to have to play a bunch of doubleheaders either. I was in favor of canceling their season last week. I'm even more on board now. At the very least, Rob Manfred needs to ban them from postseason play because it's not fair if, especially teams that play a full 60 games or close to it. And if the Cardinals play, let's say they get to 50 games, but they have a slightly better win percentage and make the playoffs over them, that's just not fair. Let them play out their season, maybe, sure, with no hopes of the postseason. That's kind of my thoughts on it, because it's just not fair to anyone. But Rob Manfred's a proven pantywaist, so he will not do anything. I mean, we saw what he did to the Houston Astros. Speaking of the Houston Astros, they got into a brawl with the Oakland Athletics.
They're a bunch of cowards.
100%
That hitting coach is a coward.
Alex Cintron, former Major League Baseball player, he played in the MLB for quite a while. Him and Ramon Laureano got into it on Sunday after Laureano was hit by a pitch. Breaking ball, Astros coach Alex Cintron started jawing with Laureano. So what did old Laureano do? He sprinted towards their dugout, and the whole dugout collapsed and tackled on him. MLB is going to come down extremely hard on these guys.
As they should, really.
This is how this crap spreads, for one. And two,
that doesn't help it.
They said that they're going to come down hard on bench clearing brawl situations. They'll have heavy suspensions. Maybe both guys are suspended the rest of the year. Who knows? Ramon Laureano did say today, I regret charging him because he's a loser. That's what he said.
Yeah, well put.
So, Alex Cintron, known loser.
Nobody likes the Astros.
MLB did nothing to them.
Except Manfred. He likes the Astros.
Manfred loves them. It's just a piece of metal. Why would I take away the World Series title?
Well, you know
just
what?
Just a piece of metal.
It's your fault things like this are happening, Rob.
Robinson.
Because you didn't do anything. You didn't penalize these guys when you should have. Now you're dealing with the consequences. Everybody wants to hit him in the head. Everybody wants to punch him in the face.
I want to punch him in the face.
Exactly.
I don't know who I hate more, Mark Emmert or Rob Manfred. I think it's Manfred. But on some decent notes here, Fernando Tatis Jr.
He's a stud, man.
Might be the best player in the National League already.
Forget about Manny Machado.
And he is 21 years old. He hit leadoff homers in back-to-back games over the weekend. He's already second all-time in leadoff homers in Padres history.
That city needs something like that.
They do. They say that ballpark's just absolutely gorgeous.
They don't have a football team anymore.
No.
Never had a basketball. Well, they had one years ago, basketball team, but they don't have one.
No one wants to follow San Diego State.
Nah.
They need the Padres to be good.
Yeah.
Who is the all-time leader in leadoff homers in San Diego Padre history?
Is it Gwynn?
Will Venable. Cubs third base coach currently.
I could have guessed 7,657 names, and I got that right.
Fernando Tatis Jr. is leading the National League in homers, slugging percentage, and on-base plus slugging. And they're already talking about giving him a long-term contract extension. He might be our next $300 million man.
That's a bold prediction.
He was in the White Sox system, and they traded him for James Shields. Big game James. Didn't pitch in any big games with the White Sox. Former Ball State pitcher and current Cleveland Indians pitcher, Zach Plesac.
He dated the half-sister of one of my college roommates.
Yes, we know the girl he dated for a while. He decided to go out on the town in Chicago on Friday night with his friends. His teammates and executives found out and were so mad at him, the Indians dismissed him from the roster for 72 hours and made him rent a car and drive back to Cleveland.
Think about what you've done.
Yeah, he has to quarantine for 72 hours before he can
They
rejoin
should
the
have
team.
messed with the stereo somehow.
They should have just
and had just
ripped
an
it
annoying
out.
song that just looped. What's an annoying song that you would just want to pull your hair out if you were locked in a room for like 10 hours and it was on constant loop?
Anything by Nickelback.
I like Nickelback, so come on, man.
So Zachary Plesac hopped on to Interstate 80 and drove himself back to Cleveland. That's probably, I bet that's close. That's a 6-hour plus drive, I bet you.
From where?
From Chicago.
Oh.
About 6.
I bet it's 8.
It's 4 from here, bro.
I'm gonna Google that. I'm gonna fact check you.
It's 100% 4 from here.
Fact checking you.
Considering I was kind of born there.
I'm still fact checking you.
Former Chicago Cubs reliever and all-around annoyingly terrible person, Derek Holland, who replied to one of my tweets last year. He's a jerk.
Were you being mean to him?
Kind of.
You are a mean guy.
He was terrible, though. He gave up 4 homers. He gave up 4 homers on the first 11 pitches of the game on Saturday against the Tigers. Who uses MapQuest anymore, by the way?
Fine, I'll do it a different way. Just keep talking. Just keep talking. I got this.
Let's see here. That's all I have from around the league. Talk a little bit about the Cubs. They didn't play over the weekend, so they only played 4 games. But they went 3-1 against the Royals. Starting rotation continues to be just superb. Yu Darvish, Kyle Hendricks, and Alec Mills were all fantastic. And the rotation had an ERA of
4 hours and 53 minutes.
5. Closer to 5, I guess. That's with traffic. It's rush hour there now.
You knew better than me.
I know things. But coming into Thursday night, the rotation ERA had a 1.95 ERA.
It's 4 hours and 10 minutes from here.
I told you 4 hours from here.
I never disputed you with that one.
Okay, I was off on the Chicago to Cleveland one. Then it's a decent shot though.
Yeah, but we both thought it was longer than it really is.
Yeah, I know.
So
I said 6. You said 8.
All right, back to your Cup talk.
I should have known though, because all you have to do is hop on 80. It takes you all the way. I know 80 very well. Tyler Chatwood, who had been their best pitcher the first 2 games, first 2 starts of the season, really regressed to the mean, giving up 8 earned runs in 2 1/3 innings. I will say about this version of Tyler Chatwood implosion, I can handle it because he didn't walk the world. He did give up 11 hits in those 2 1/3 innings. They lost, I think it was 13-2. Bullpen's still pretty bad. Once again, they need to get Kragers going. Oh, Craig Kimbrell.
You wish you had a cool nickname like Kragers.
J-Man's pretty dang.
J-Man.
Pretty dang cool.
I bet you he didn't give himself the nickname Kragers.
I bet he did. I bet he's been calling himself Kragers.
I bet
since
his
he was
friends
like 6.
called him that. And it wasn't a Madden video game self-given nickname.
Mine's more impressive, though, because I came up with it on my own.
Now you're a TV star, part of a podcast.
TV star. TV star, J-Man. Handsome, check. TV star, double check.
Oh, bye. Oh, boy.
Craig Kimbrell has allowed 7 runs in 2 2/3 innings this season. He allowed 7 runs total in 62 2/3 innings pitched in the entire 2012 season. His release point is down 4 inches, which could have something to do with his struggles. He needs to get back on top of the wall because he has to pitch effectively at the top of the zone. He gets it below top of the zone, and it's just game over for him. He did, I guess, look pretty dang good in a scrimmage they did yesterday because those stupid idiot Cardinals. They had to do an intra-squad scrimmage. He struck out 2 in an inning, looked better. But this week they play Cleveland for 2, starting tomorrow night, and then Milwaukee at Wrigley for 4.
What you predicting for this week?
Haven't played since Thursday, so that's always a little scary. I'm hoping for 3-3. Just keep it level. I mean, they go 500 the rest of the way. They're going to be an easy postseason team. So, just don't have too many losing streaks. You can't in a 60-game season. But they lined up the rotation for Johnny Lester tomorrow night. Then I think it's Darvish on Wednesday, and then Kyle Hendricks on Thursday. So sitting here at 10-3, I think they have the best win percentage in Major League Baseball right now. Keep it rolling. That's all I got baseball-wise.
Yankees they didn't have a very good weekend. The Rays got the better of them.
The Rays needed it, too.
Yes, they did.
Far more than the Yankees.
And the Yankees sustained an injury, of course. Giancarlo Stanton, like he does every year, got hurt.
I say he's always hurt.
Placed on the IL. I think it's hamstring injury, I believe. Something in his leg. But now they play the Braves starting tomorrow.
The Oakland A's have the best win percentage
just a 2-gamer,
in baseball.
And then they host the Red Sox, which is good news for 3 over the weekend.
Red Sox can't pitch. They are sitting there at 6-9 right now. I just want to see what their team ERA is.
And I've been warned not to talk about the other team.
4.74. So we're not talking about the other team because no one cares about the other team.
I'm just saying there's a certain team in the National League that's not stinking right now. They're
not right
playing
now.
Really well.
They got to play the Mariners and they got to play you got to beat who you play. I guess that's what happened to the Cubs.
Diamondbacks and Rangers all at home this week.
The Rockies. I said it. That means I'm not doing it. Their postseason odds right now are 58.3%, still pretty low.
That's still better than you thought it was going to be, though.
I mean, I keep saying it's so early, but 20% of the season's
and
already done.
their best players not even playing well.
Cubs postseason odds were 96%.
Tried to DH him the other day. That backfired.
On Thursday, and now they're down to 87.9%. Cubs have a 4-game lead in the division already.
I know.
Crazy.
I was looking at the divisions. The NL West is the best division in baseball right now.
Yeah, you have the team that won't be named at 11-4. You have the Dodgers, who are the far superior team, at 11-5. Padres, I think, are a really good ball club, and they'll start winning. They're 2.5 out. Giants have one of the worst rosters in baseball, but they aren't imploding yet. They're 5 out. Worst team in baseball is the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, they might end up with the least amount of wins ever for a season.
Yeah, I would say.
I know this is
some team will this year easily.
Yeah, because isn't it 15 is the lowest ever?
I can't imagine it's that low.
I'm gonna look it up.
Unless the team was so bad, it could be. I guess. But the Pirates are 3-13, 8.5 games out after 16 games played. So it's a rough go of it.
We had the 1916 Philadelphia Athletics, 36-117.
36 wins might be the most we see this year.
The 1935 Boston Braves went 38-115.
38 probably definitely is the most we'll see this year.
1904 Washington Senators were 38-113. The 1919 Philadelphia Athletics, man, they stunk. 36-104. None of those teams played a 162-game season. So the Philadelphia Athletics have 2 of the 4 worst records in MLB history.
I think the worst of our lifetime was the 2003 Tigers. They went 43-119. The Orioles in 18 went 47-115.
I was going to say, I remember the Orioles being really bad.
I remember the Royals being garbage too. The Royals, they've won 58 59 games, still garbage, but not that.
And they've won a World Series. I don't feel too bad for them.
I'm talking the past 2 years though. Tigers last year went 47-114, so I think that Tigers team in I think it was 03. 2003, 43-119. That's pretty bad. They went 55-106.
I wonder who the best player was in that 03 team. Probably Dimitri Young.
Dimitri Young's a good guess. I'm going to guess who the heck was that shortstop they had? Carlos Guillen is my guess. Best player, it was Dimitri Young. According to WAR, I don't know who this fella is. Warren Morris, Nate Cornejo.
I only got Dimitri Young because I used to collect baseball cards.
Carlos Pena was 5th in WAR for that team. That team was bad. Dimitri, listed at 6'2", 295. Might be a little generous.
Yeah.
He could really hit, though.
His brother never panned out, did he?
Delman, he's the one that threw the bat at the umpire in the minors.
Yeah.
He's a bad dude.
He had some issues.
He was like number 1 overall pick, too. Or number
he played
2
up in South Bend for a little bit, didn't he?
Did he?
Or maybe it was against one of the South Bend teams?
I'm sure it was against because he came up in the Rays system.
I know, but I thought he got traded.
He never played for Arizona.
That's how much I know. Must have played against them or something.
I'm sure he did play against them. He wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. The 1,100 career hits. Dimitri was a little better, though. Not much better.
Yep. Any more for the sport of baseball?
I'm done with the sport of baseball.
Let's move to the sport of golf.
Yeah.
Golf got a major under its belt.
Yes. Cancel the season now.
Probably the biggest completed sporting event we've had since the Super Bowl.
I know that Illinois-Iowa basketball game is pretty big.
Jeez. But it was an exciting tournament. Still wish there was fans, of course, but Morikawa, Colin Morikawa,
superstar,
age of 23, won his first major title. It won't be his last.
Nah, he's good.
The lid is off for his talents. Did you see that after? Did you see that after the lid of the Wanamaker came off, and his facial reaction was hilarious. But now he knows he can drink stuff out of it, I guess. But I think that's a pretty heavy trophy. I think it's like 40 pounds.
That'd be tough to pick up and try to drink something out of it.
Especially when you're it's tough to pick up when your adrenaline's flowing after winning and
shaking.
But here's some crazy stats about Colin. He's only missed one cut in 27 events. He has 3 wins, tour wins already in 27 events. Just a little over a year ago, he was still playing golf at Cal Berkeley.
That means he's winning a tournament every 9 starts.
He is really good. He broke the major record for lowest 36-hole total. His round yesterday and Saturday, total for 36 was the lowest ever in major history. That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
It all turned around. There was a 7-way tie for the lead yesterday until he chipped in on hole 14. And then he had the shot of the tournament, hole 16, reached the par 5, he reached the par 4, and he drove it. 294 yards, drove it, and that kind of sealed the deal for him.
He was clutch.
Yeah, he was clutch. Dustin Johnson was close, but Dustin Johnson might go down as this generation's Greg Norman. Great player, couldn't win as much as he should when it came to the majors. I mean, 21 career victories. It's nothing to scoff about unless you're Brooks Koepka and talk smack about him. But Brooks finally didn't put his money where his mouth was yesterday. Shot 3 over par, so he didn't complete the three-peat. But big muscle Bryson DeChambeau had a good showing, his best finish in a major. Paul Casey played well. Jason Day played well.
The guy you were going for, Cam Champ,
he
did not play very good yesterday, did
Hung in there for a little bit, and then he fell off. He's another youngster from Texas A&M. Golf's in great shape. I've said that for years with all the youngsters. I mean, you had 3 young guys turn pro at the same time last year. Victor Hovland, Matthew Wolff, both of them from Oklahoma State, and then Colin Morikawa. And Morikawa wasn't probably as hyped as the other two, but Morikawa was head and shoulders better than the rest. And he's already showing that. I mean, he's compared to Tiger right now through 27 starts.
It's insane.
Tiger in his 27th start won Augusta.
Let's hope he's not another Jordan Spieth. I mean,
No.
he can win a
Talk
whole
about
lot.
it.
But
Jordan made the cut, but wasn't even close. I mean, the guy's got no
happened to
confidence.
him?
He's just got nothing. You can
he
tell.
was on top of the world there for a couple of years.
My guy, Ricky Fowler, missed a cut by 1, and he missed a 6-inch putt. Ended up missing the cut by 1 pretty much because of that. And this was a course that people can make runs on the weekends. It was neat thing about this course, Harding Park. It's a municipal course. It's like $140 to play.
Oh,
so it's a city course. Just back
it's
in like 1990,
city course.
they were using that for like a parking lot for big events out in California.
Where's it at?
San Francisco area.
Oh, I thought you were talking about next week's championship.
Oh, this week is the Wyndham Championship. It's in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's the last tournament before the FedEx Cup playoffs, which is 3 tournaments in a row. Yeah, the playoffs are going to be done here soon for golf. And then you got the U.S. Open at Bethpage Black next month in September, and then the Masters in November. But here's your top 15 power rankings according to PGAtour.com for the Wyndham Championship. There's some good names in it, but some are taking the week off before the playoffs start. Number 15, you got Maverick McNeely.
Never heard of him.
Number 14, you got Henrik Norlander.
Never heard of him.
Number 13, you got Jim Furyk.
I have heard of him.
Who won his first senior tour start 2 weeks ago. First start, and he won. He'll have good success on that. Number 12, Patrick Reed. I believe he got a backdoor top 10 finish yesterday. Number 11, Ches Reavie. Number 10, Brooks Koepka. You've heard of that guy.
Brooks.
Number 9, Ryan Moore. Number 8, Brendan Todd, who was hanging around there after 2 rounds, and then he kind of fizzled.
He was good the week before, too, until he fizzled, right?
He's won 2 tournaments this year, so if he would have got a major, he'd probably be Player of the Year. Number 7, Siwoo Kim. Number 6, Paul Casey. He's coming off a heck of a finish this past week.
Won $968,000.
Not too shabby. Number 5, Billy Horschel. Number 4, Harris English. Number 3, Justin Rose. Number 2, Kevin Kistner. And number 1, Webb Simpson. He's from that area. Some other names in the field that aren't ranked: Sergio Garcia, Brent Snedeker, Jordan Spieth, Tommy Fleetwood, Sungjae Im.
This will be the J-Man's Book It prediction of the week. It will be a player to win that was not in that top 15 power rankings.
All right. Do you want to take a venture on any of the other ones I named?
Book it!
Sergio, Snedeker, Spieth, Fleetwood, Im?
No.
Okay.
J-Man's Book It prediction of the week is brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent Travis Watchering for life, home, auto, renters, business, workers' comp, and farm. Contact Travis at 219-869-4561. His email is travis.watchering@infb.com.
I'm going to go with Ches Reavie for this week.
Ches.
Why not? Played
Why
good 2 weeks
not?
ago.
I just heard of him a few weeks ago, and it seems like he's in the power rankings about every week.
Yeah, some of these guys like Harris English is all the time. Billy Horschel. Now they just need to get wins. They don't need to be satisfied getting on the PGAtour.com power rankings. But I will say, I thought ESPN did a fabulous job with their PGA Championship coverage. I thought Scott Van Pelt and David Duvall, most enjoyable golf commentators I've listened to in a long time. But I did enjoy on Saturday when CBS had Phil Mickelson come in the booth for about an hour.
Yeah.
Thought he was phenomenal.
I'm a big fan of Scott Van Pelt.
Oh, he's great. I think he's just the best at what he does. And Faldo and Nance can get a little boring with their coverage.
Nance is incredibly boring to me. I like him most doing college basketball, but he doesn't do it that much.
Doesn't do it that much anymore. So that's all I got for golf, man.
TJ Warren's been on quite the roll for the Indiana Pacers.
Pacer fans want to tune in tonight if they're able to watch the game because they're playing against the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, TJ Warren have had some bad blood dating back to January, and Warren's kind of went off since then, and Jimmy hasn't played as well as TJ. And
it's a big game as well because the Heat and the Pacers have identical records.
Yep. So they're probably going to meet in the playoffs also. Pacers beat the Lakers due to a TJ Warren buzzer beater, or at least close to a last-second shot the other night. Yeah, Pacers are playing head and shoulders better than I thought they would in the bubble.
You, I think, even said something like, I don't know if they're going to win the game.
Especially, I didn't think Oladipo was going to return. I thought they were going to be awful, and they have shut me up.
Who else? J.J. Redick's postseason playoff streak has ended at, 15 years?
However many years he's played in the league.
I got to go look it up.
First time in his career.
With the Pelicans. I want to say it's 16 years.
You know, there's another player down in the bubble that's taken the league by notice, and he's a rookie.
Who is it?
Michael Porter Jr.
He's kind of come out of nowhere.
Really well. Yeah.
15 seasons.
He's finally healthy. Michaels hasn't been healthy like in 2 years. Bull hasn't been playing too bad. I think he's averaging about 10 a game.
Yeah, Bull didn't really play at all in the regular season.
They kind of hit him, it seemed like. But Michael Porter Jr., he's been really good. Hockey playoffs about to start.
Are they about to start?
Colorado Avalanche, according to Vegas, have the best chance to win the Stanley Cup at 5-1 odds.
Who?
Colorado Avalanche.
Ugh. Go any other team.
They're playing against the Arizona Coyotes. Coyotes' first playoff trip in 7 years.
Wow.
And I heard a crazy stat today. I know the Maple Leafs blew it the other night and didn't make the playoffs. They haven't got past the first round of the playoffs, I don't believe, since 2003.
Wow, where do they play? Toronto?
Yeah, I believe that was the stat.
Where are they bubbling at? I think I asked you this last week.
It's in Canada.
I want to see where it's at, actually.
Why don't you bring up the bracket real quick? We got 5 minutes before Birdie Bogey. If you got
so
the NHL
pressure.
I just kind of want to see what it's seated like.
All right, here. NHL playoff brackets.
Like the Blackhawks made it because, they played their way in, but technically they had one of the worst records in the league, so normally they wouldn't have got a chance.
I don't know how to get the actual bubble. I thought it
had the matchups down there, no?
It did have the matchups, but I want like an actual printable bracket. This was the proposed. I am really screwing this up for us. Printable. Here we go. This will be good. Okay. We have the number 1 in the Western Conference, the number 1 seeded Las Vegas Golden Knights.
They beat the Avalanche in an overtime game the other day.
Playing the 8 seed Chicago Blackhawks.
Yep.
The Colorado Avalanche playing the 7 seeded Arizona Coyotes, right? The number 3 Dallas Stars.
That's a team that used to be really good.
Playing,
with Modano and Brett Hull.
Playing the 6th seeded Calgary Flames. The 4th seeded St. Louis Blues playing the 5th seeded Vancouver Canucks.
Come on, Canucks.
Eastern Conference, we have the Philadelphia Flyers playing the Montreal
Canadiens.
I about said
the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup, and that was back in '93.
I about said Expo.
Barry Goldberg would be happy about his Flyers.
That show sucks. The 2nd seeded Tampa Bay Lightning playing the 7th seeded Columbus Blue Jackets. The 3 seeded Washington Senators playing the New York Islanders, who are the 6th seed. And last but not least, we have the Boston Bruins at the 4 seed playing the Carolina
Hurricanes
with the 5th seed.
Good
Who
stuff.
you got winning it?
Go, man.
I will go on
Time
record
for a third cup.
and say the Coyotes upset them in round 1.
You might be right, but I think the Avs are a dynasty about to form. This team's young, talented. They're going to win one. If it's not this year, they will win one in the next 5 years. Oh, and I forgot about Bryson DeChambeau. I told you I was going to make a prediction. He will win the Masters in November. That course is made for him the way he's hitting the ball right now. Bubba won 2 of them with the length. He'll win it come November. That's a prediction. I'm making it on August 10th.
Does Alex Ovechkin still play for the Washington Capitals?
Caps, yep.
I think they get her done again.
Yeah. All right.
You want to hear some birdie bogey?
Yes, please repeat your question. We only got a few minutes.
My question is, if I can bring it up.
We got 3
here.
minutes. Kind of close. Thank you for everybody for sticking with us and being patient.
And thanks to this puppy for being really freaking good.
He's been
as
pretty
he's
good.
licking my leg right now. 4 guys have at least 40 majors where they finished under par. Who are those 4?
Jack Nicklaus.
Yes.
Tiger Woods.
Yes. There's your par already.
Phil Mickelson.
Yep. He's your 3rd out of 4th.
Oh, shoot.
One more, man. This guy had 43 majors under par.
I got like 3 guys in my mind. Oh, man. 43 majors under par.
Yep.
One's a Hall of Famer. No, they're both Hall of Famers. Is he a Hall of Famer, or do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
I have no idea.
Is he an active golfer?
I have no idea. No clues.
Okay, so it's not one of the guys I thought. Go Nick Faldo.
Incorrect. Tom Watson. Oh. Jack Nicklaus had 57 majors under par. Tom Watson 43. Tiger actually passed Phil yesterday. He has 42, and Phil has 41.
Dang it! Didn't even think about old Tom. I was thinking Palmer or Faldo. Faldo won 6 majors. Darn it!
Wow. Yeah, that was a good guess.
Now he's in the commentary booth. I thought maybe he thought he might play once in a while, but
I have no idea.
wrap us up there, J-Man.
Thanks for watching the Tan and J-Man show and suffering with us through another episode.
We got through it. Episode 195.
Power
Unlike any other.
Power only went out once.
Yep.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Noble Gnome LLC, Travis Watchering, former Print House, and New Dam Landing. We will be back at it next Monday night. Also, we'll have another episode coming out later in the week with
Stay tuned.
Our good friends Andrew and Isabella Eiler, 2 former Butler golfers. So check it out later in the week. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll be back at it.